Hello viewers, hope you're enjoying your day. It's Property Focus O'Clock. Now we'll be learning about property valuation. How is the value of a property determined from one location to the other? What criteria do valuers use? And how is the market itself demarcated? Our property valuation expert, also Estate Agents Registration Board Chair, Valuer Eunice Macharia will be answering these and other questions as she tells us more about this topic. Now, still on valuation, we'll be talking to a developer of an apartment development in the South Sea area here in Nairobi. They'll help us understand the market drivers in this location and how they came down to the cost at which they're selling their property. At the tail end of the program, we'll be reviewing the cushion vinyl flooring locally renowned as Mkeka Wambao. You do not want to miss that interview. You're tuned into your favorite property program, and that is Property Focus, your window into the world of architecture, building construction, and real estate. I'm your host, Peter Ngigi, and welcome yet to another exciting episode. Change in ownership and appreciation of land and value in the middle-class area of South Sea is slowly carving out the location as an investor's dream. Today, we're exploring a relatively new property in the area, which will help you as an aspiring property investor to gauge the value of the area and see the kind of houses you can expect to find in this location. Let's hear more from our guests. Now we're looking at property valuation of residences in South Sea, and joined with me we've got Irene Mukiri, who's just going to tell us a little bit about that. Welcome to Property Focus.
Thank you.
Excellent. So describe this location that we're at right now.
So we are in South Sea, Bellevue area. We are 5 kilometers from the CBD, and I would say we are centrally located in that we have many amenities around us.
So why did you choose to develop on this location?
South Sea is a growing area. It has been growing. We have apartments that are coming up, and so it is centrally located. It is close to amenities. From here, people are able to go to the CBD, you're able to go to the airport, you're able to access the southern and northern bypass.
So break down this project for us.
So these are 188 three-bedroom apartments, all en suite with an SQ, and they're laid out in 3 blocks. Each block has 66 apartments. So we broke ground 2 years ago. That was in August 2018. And we are now at 90% complete. They should be ready for occupation in December.
Wow.
We started off at 12 million, and we're currently at 16.3 million. So why the price difference is, one, in terms of risk. The person who came in when we were breaking ground off plan has a higher risk, unlike the person who's coming in now. And of course, there are cost variations that would go on as we go with the construction.
Yeah. So how is this project going to change the lifestyle and market value of this particular location?
If you look at what we are offering in terms of the sizes, in terms of the finishes, it is different from what was there earlier. So we are bringing what people would perceive as the upmarket to the middle income. So in terms of the finishes, in terms of the quality of workmanship that has been given, in terms of the amenities that we are offering. So we are ensuring that you don't have to go to that upmarket. You can still get it in the middle income.
Give us your parting shot.
I'd like to encourage people to invest in South Sea. South Sea is one of the areas that has grown for the last couple of years. Initially, South Sea was known for bungalows and mansionettes, but if you look at what is happening around, we have a lot of apartments that are coming up. We have a lot of commercial properties. We have malls around us. We have a lot of offices around us. We have the airport. So South Sea is really in a very good location. So you can live here, you can work from here, you can shop from here. So you have everything in South Sea. You can get these informations from even leading banks. They can give you this information. We have leading consultants in the market, project managers, we have architects. Once you know, you need to do that background check on them and look at their previous work. Then you'll be able to know where to invest.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. That was Irene Mukiri just talking about some of the residences here in South Sea and how the market value has just gone up because of such beautiful residence. I might just purchase one, I might add. Will you sell it to me?
Yes, sure. You're most welcome.
You You heard it, only on Property Focus. We're taking a short break, but when we're back, we're going to be joined with Eunice Macharia, who's going to be telling us about the basics of property valuation. Remember to follow us on Facebook, on Property Focus, on Instagram, on property_focus_. Stay tuned, there's more. And welcome back. We're looking at property valuation, and we've got the experts to just tell us a little bit more about this. She has over 30 years as a registered valuer, the chair lady of the Estate Agents Registration Board. Welcome to Property Focus, Eunice Macharia.
Thank you, Peter.
Excellent. Tell us about property valuation and what it is that it entails.
Property valuation, in summary, is the estimated value of a property at a certain date, and normally we use today's date, between a willing buyer and a willing seller, who are acting at an arm's length. Basically, they are not being coerced into that deal, and we assume that they are doing it prudently, and they are also well informed. So that's the value of a property.
What are the key factors that now determine the value of a particular property in a certain zone?
Okay, when we are looking at a property, a value of a property, we start with the value, with the location of the property. Where is this property located? And we'll be looking at, is it in an urban setting, is it in a rural setting? And when it's an urban setting, where exactly is that property located? And when you zero down to, say, a certain estate, then you'll be looking at where is it located in that estate. So the location of a property is very key when you're doing valuation. Then you also look at the size of land on that property. It could be a quarter of an acre, 50 by 100, an eighth. It could be half an acre, it could be an acre of land, it could be on any size of land. So we look at the size of land. But we also look at the size of the property, of the development itself. How big is it? Is it 100 square foot? Is it 100 square meters? Is it 200 square meters? Is it 400? What is the size of that property? There are many things that comes into it, because you're also looking at the accommodation. When you enter into the property, what are the facilities that are provided in that house? You find, like you go into most houses, you have a kitchen, you have a lounge, you have bedrooms. Then if you go to the bedrooms, you look at how many bedrooms does a property have. You also be looking at what is provided in those bedrooms. Are there wardrobes? The kitchen, does it have fitting? Does it have a sink? Does it have a store? Does it have the units, the cabinets? What is it? Then you look at the inside the house. You also be looking at, some people have, like, some rooms are en suite, or they have an attached bathroom that is used by an occupier of that specific bedroom. How many bathrooms do we have in that house? You look at many, you also look at the finishes in the house. Some are basic, maybe you just put cement screed, some have tiles, and when you come to tiles, what level of tiles have been provided? What is the quality of tiling in that building? You look at other facilities. Does it have a servant quarters? And like a Kenyan market, some of us are very specific. We want our domestic servants to be provided for. You also look at, does it have a swimming pool? Does it have a gym? Does it have playgrounds? There are so many factors that come into valuation when you're looking at a property.
How then do you demarcate and distinguish the different regions from the lower regions to the upper class regions?
The upper class basically is, you look at first of all, the historic, what is provided in that neighborhood, because it's basically a matter of neighborhood. What is in that neighborhood? We have seen even some high-end locations coming down to middle class, like areas like Lavington. Lavington was a very high-end estate some years back, and it's because the size of land, most buildings were on about an acre or 3/4 of an acre. But now you find that the county government and the planning division in the county have reduced that, and you can actually have multiple dwellings in one location. So that basically, if I wanted to invest in a property in Lavington, and I wanted the kind of security, and I wanted the kind of, because you're also looking at things like, is it, the things that people treasure. You want your privacy. Yeah, some people don't want to live in crowded areas.
Yes.
They want to be on their own land with space. And that has reduced in some areas like Lavington. So you find that, or Kilimani or Kileleshwa, before you could find a property on a very large piece of land, an acre or close to that.
Yeah.
And now they have reduced to multiple apartments, high-level apartments. So that has, pushed it to a different category. So we look at that. We look at the neighborhood, because when you talk about, say, a high end, and sometimes they are not so defined, because you might find, like in Muthaiga, and Muthaiga is one of the high-end estates in Nairobi. Properties are trading between 200, 400 million, 600, 700 million.
Yes.
But when you go on the ground, you also, what we talked about, what is provided for in that property. You find the property has a swimming pool, you find the house is big, it is maybe 400 square meters, as opposed to a house in, say, South B or Greenspan, which would put it maybe in the upper, in the middle.
Yes.
High class.
Yes.
You find it has only about 100 square meters.
Yes.
Or 130, or maybe even 150. So you see the difference in, because some people want their space.
Yes.
And that's why they are willing to go to the high end and pay that price.
Yes.
And also you find the communities that live there. You find this international community, the CEOs, it is a who to who, in this society. So they are willing to pay the price for that location.
Yes.
When you come down to the other classes, the space goes down significantly. As you come down, the space comes down significantly. So whereas we're talking about 400 square meters in an upper high end, when you come down to an area like Lunda, which is also a high end, you find the spaces starts coming down. If you come to an area like Kilimani, what we are talking about apartments, you might find that they're offering like 200 square meters of space in an apartment. But you see, now you cannot achieve the 400, and you cannot achieve the what you were saying, the exclusivity of the other neighborhood. Because here in a block of apartment, you have maybe 20 apartments, 30 apartments, 40 apartments. You are sharing parking areas, you are sharing lift lobbies, you are sharing other facilities. So that, of course, differentiates the two categories. When you go to areas like South Sea, you also find we have different categories of properties, and they are differentiated by price also. Because the same property in a high end, if you take it to another location, it will attract less price. It will attract a lesser value because of the neighborhood.
Yes.
Because the neighborhood is no longer exclusive, like you would find in another location.
Yes. Give us your parting shots.
If you are buying a property, take your time. Don't rush into deals. And don't get deceived by the fancy, very colorful brochures that we see around. Do your due diligence.
Yes.
Take time to find out, first of all, about the developer. Take time to do a search on the property and find out whether it has anything that would encumber that property from, you finishing off that deal. Seek the advice of a consultant. We are available as valuers. We will be able to advise you. And you might find that you save quite some money in doing that. You will spend a little in fees, but you might end up saving a lot more.
Okay.
Because if you know the value of a property, it gives you power to negotiate. It empowers you in the negotiations. You know how far you can go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Also deal with people who are seeking the consultants or the advice of a consultant.
Yes.
Look for a consultant who is credible, who is registered with we have valuers who are registered with the Valuers Registration Board.
Yes.
We have estate agents who are registered with our board, the Estate Agents Registration Board. So it's look for someone who has the proper registrations.
Yeah. Well then, thank you, Eunice Macharia. Thank you for coming on to Property Focus.
Thank you, Peter, for having me in the show.
And there you've heard it from the Estate Agents Registration Board Chair. Remember, don't take furniture issues to the mechanic. Keep it always with a qualified practitioner when you're valuing your property. Up next, we've got the billboards. Stay tuned. Looking for a fresh new coat of paint that is everlasting? Welcome to Ideal Paints. Try out our range of interior and exterior products. Call us today on 0722 513 688 or visit our website on www.idealpaints.co.ke.
Looking for a luxurious, affordable home? Luxor provides comfort and easy care living in a private, secure complex located off Mombasa Road behind Gateway Mall. Our units are detailed with open modern kitchen, spacious lounge, dining area, and suite master bedroom, laundry area, and optional ensuite DSQ. Amenities include elevator, Wi-Fi, rooftop space, kids play area, swimming pool, backup generator, parking area, and more. Don't miss this lifetime opportunity. Luxury all around.
We're at PG Bison Kenya Limited, about to learn the interesting journey of wood as one of the very first raw materials that were used in building. Let's hear what this journey has been from Mr. Hitesh Mehta. How are you doing?
How are you?
Good,
Peter?
good. Welcome
You
to
okay?
Property Focus.
Thank you, thank you.
Tell us about PG Bison.
So PG Bison started in 2002. It's been growing ever since,
Okay.
and we produce to the highest quality European norm specifications.
Okay.
And the forests that supply us with the raw material are FSC certified.
Okay.
So which means that they replant and
Okay.
that.
Fantastic. What products do you guys have to offer?
So we manufacture and supply a range of particle board and MDF products.
Okay.
And we mainly supply carpenters, furniture manufacturers, construction companies.
Yes.
And we also add value to the board itself, where it can be customized and you can cut to size, edge to the cut, and stuff like that.
Okay.
So the components mainly constitute of door frontals, the cabinet carcasses, the desktops, office furniture,
Okay.
and yeah.
I noticed that wood is the main raw material used over here. Tell us about its history.
So wood has been used for centuries in construction, and in the 50s is when now that timber was processed to particle board. In Germany, the first commercial particle board plant was put up. And as PG Bison, we mainly use eucalyptus within our own facilities, where we sustainably farm the trees. And the panels would make more sense today, because the more you can optimize them, you get a better yield, and as you can see around.
Let's get a better view of whatever it is that you guys have to offer, right? So let's dive into all things engineered wood. First of all, what is engineered wood?
Engineered wood is basically just the conversion of solid timber into the panel wooden products, such as the particle board, OSB, MDF.
Yes. So what's the process of making engineered wood to what it is right now?
Engineered wood, it's just particles basically of timber that are mixed with resins, and these now give those sheets, the panels, that are available in different sizes and thicknesses. Then you can put melamine on top of it and get different finishes.
These are fantastic. Shall we see more?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Okay. Quite interesting. So tell us about engineered wood and their specific uses.
I think particle board, which is one of the main ones, is mainly used for carcass construction for cabinets, wardrobes,
Okay.
in kitchens,
Yes.
in office furniture.
Yes.
Then you have MDF, which has the traditional properties of solid timber.
Okay.
So the CNC rootering and those kind of things can be done on that. Yeah, that covers those two.
What does one need to know about before purchasing PG Bison products?
I think you got to know, you got to size out your room first,
Yeah.
and then know the application of the product. The correct application is key here.
Yes.
So you got to know what you're using where. And once you get the size of the place, try and have standardized sizing
Okay.
for the cabinet sizing. Then try look what fashion would suit your place. You try and match your tiling with your cabinets kind of thing.
Okay.
And then the different textures available. You have the different touches. We have linear, we have natural touch, we have fusion, and we have pin finish. So those are all different types of touches. Then the installation bit of it.
Okay.
So we can, who are you going to work with basically? What type of installer? And come with them, it'll make it much easier for you to get your job done.
Speaking of which, just clarify. Does one need a professional to come and purchase PG Bison products, or you can just come alone?
You can come alone if you know the size of piece that you need, because we've gone into square meter pricing from this year. That means you can come and buy a small piece even. You don't need to buy a sheet to have one piece cut out.
Okay.
So you can come and buy a piece yourself if you know the size. If you don't know the size or you're doing a bigger project, you can have an installer come with you. It'll make it easier.
Okay. And are they ready to purchase, or one has to place an order?
They're ready to purchase when you're coming and buying. If someone's coming to buy a board or something like that, they can come and buy it ready. But if you're going to give us an order that's going to be cut, edged and drilled, then it's easier if you come, you fill in that part list to what your specification, then we would cut according to that and edge it, and then we would deliver it to you on the promised date.
Now, what additional services do you offer your clients?
So as PG Bison, we have a wide range of services that we currently do, and we've just started doors as well, internal doors, and the cabinetry hardware. We've increased the range in that even. So we are agents in the region for Blum, which is a high-end Austrian brand, the best in the world, I'd say. And we also have a much more affordable range in Kinetic that has new finishes, stainless steel and different finishes, new handle types as well. So there's quite a bit that we've got in terms of additional services. Even flat packs, there's a new flat packs that is Blum incorporated for fittings.
Speaking of Blum and Kinetic, what are some of the new trends that PG Bison has adopted in the industry?
Oh, so we keep reinventing the fashion within this market. So every 12 months, we go out there, we see what the world fashions are, and we bring that back with us to Kenya.
Fantastic, fantastic. Clarify some of the misconceptions people have about PG Bison.
I think PG Bison is viewed as a high-end premium brand, which it is, and so they view it to be expensive. But I'd say we are in a lot of projects that are actually not that high-end. There's a lot of the affordable projects that we are in, and I think we can suit people's budgets. The advantage you have with us is we can make what you need. You don't come in and buy a ready cupboard or kitchen. We make it to what you need.
Tailor-made.
Exactly.
Fantastic, I like it. Tell us, parting shot?
I think as the market leaders, I'd like to invite anyone to our branches in Nairobi and in Mombasa. And definitely you'd see a lot more of us and a lot of better products in Kenya, uplifting the Kenyan standards in this industry.
Fantastic. Mr. Hitesh Mehta, why don't you tell the viewers how they can reach you, your website, telephone number that they can call you on?
I think you can get us online. Our website is www.pgbison.co.ke. You can find us on Facebook as well and Instagram as PG Bison Kenya. And you can visit our places: Enterprise Road in Nairobi, Kampala Road, and in Mombasa, Lumumba Road.
Now, that was Hitesh on all things engineered wood from the experts themselves, PG Bison. Thank you so much for keeping us company. I'm sure you've learned a whole lot in today's episode. Look, let's keep the conversations going on social media, at Property Focus on Facebook, at Property_Focus_ on Instagram. Until next time, I'm your host, Peter Ngigi. Take care.